But when things are going right, there's a magic rapport with an audience. That is just what Jim Carrey has cultivated. His style is not witty like a Lenny Bruce or a Mort Saul. He's a singing comic impressionist. His act has been designed to be silly.
I'm completely off the track now, man. Doesn't matter what it is. I was talking about the dog on my leg. Well, Colonel Tom Parker came along and he said, boy, I said, wood. Exactly like that. I said, wood.
Jim's show may seem like spontaneous slapstick, the kind of rollicking fun close friends have at a party. But it's all based on constant work. In front of the ever-present mirror, Jim warms up like a gymnast. The energy switches on, and the face and body go into a series of rubbery contortions. A cartoon show with a cast of 110 characters.
You know, I spend the majority of my lifetime staring in the mirror. But I'm not looking at me, I'm looking at Leonid Brezhnev. Michael Landon's smiling.
His lighthearted style is like a combination of Steve Martin and Rich Little. But what makes Jim unique as an impressionist is his singing. For the Las Vegas crowd, Sammy Davis Jr. For the aging flower children, Bob Dylan.
My friend is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Amen. All right.
Comedy isn't so much a profession as a compulsion, and Jim's drive has been paying off in more ways than one. At the prestigious Comedy Store in Los Angeles, he's been receiving standing ovations. There are now offers for movies and television roles. And of course, there's money. At this nightclub alone, Jim will earn $10,000 for 1 week's work. 2 shows a night, 7 nights a week. Jim virtually lives in nightclubs.
That's why it's such a weird job. You know, people say, well, it mustn't be that hard just getting up making people laugh. You just get up there, you're up there for an hour and you're off for the night, you know? Because the thing is, it's like being a doctor. You're on call all the time. You know, you're always thinking about it, and you go to bed with it on your mind, and you're thinking of you on the Carson Show panel, you know? You're thinking of things like that are going through your head all the time, you know? So you never really get rid of it. You just sort of add everything else to it, you know.
The big test in comedy, obviously, is whether they laugh or they don't. But sometimes Jim wants a different effect, a sort of tongue-in-cheek poignancy, as Fonda and Hepburn managed to do in the movie On Golden Pond.
Hope you're ready to massage my bent back tonight.
With pleasure. Your poop.
I suppose I could lay down and pick the berries.
Silliness has been with Jim Carrey since he was a baby, born with a crooked hat. His faces never failed to get a laugh at family parties or at school, where he says being the class clown helped him to make friends. But Jim dropped out of school in grade 9 to mold his act. 2 years later, his first TV appearance. The impressions were there, but the nuances weren't.
Thank you very much. My name is Jimmy Carter, and I am the President of the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Though the nuances are here now, they did not come easily.
And I used to be
Jim struggled trying to perfect his impressions. He usually performed at a popular comedy club in Toronto.
That's a fact.
I used to drive like 50 miles back and forth from Jackson's Point every second night or every night to do a set at Yuck Yucks for free. No pay. Not even a gas stub or anything, nothing. And I used to do that and did that for the longest time and just kept working until people started to take notice, you know, and the rest was history.
This won't hurt now. Look at those people now. Now make the ugliest face that you can ever make. All right, and I'll make it with you. All right, let's go. He is truly ugly.
You're the crowd's man after a while. You know, it's not Jim Carrey who can walk down the street just you know, doing anything he wants to and get away with it because nobody knows you. You know, after a while, hopefully it'll be to the point where I can't walk out in the street. Won't that be fun? where it'll be impossible to walk anywhere without being recognized.
Whether it's in Toronto, New York, or Los Angeles, audiences hate to see Jim Carrey go. He's a sure bet, people in the business say. The recognition is very close. For the Journal, this is Ross Miller in Toronto.
When we return, Cy Friedland and the Business Journal.
Up to the coveted weekend regular spots. His name is Jim Carrey. He's an impressionist, and he's from Aldershot High School in Burlington. Here's his unique brand of comedy, Jim Carrey.
This is Jack Bennett, and it's good to be here in Toronto. But I gotta tell you, I was in a restaurant the other night, and the waitresses there were weird. I was sitting there, minding my own business, when she comes over to me, and she says, "Do you want a coffee?" I said yes. She brings me the coffee, black, and she says, "Do you want some sugar?" I said yes. She reaches down and gets 2 cubes from her bosom, wet. Then she says, "Do you want some cream?" I said, "You wouldn't dare."
This is one of the best comedians on television today. He's the star of Mork and Mindy, Robin Williams.
Mork, calling Orson, come in, Orson. Mork, calling Orson, come in, Orson. Yes, Mork. This week at Divine Acreage, I'd like to report on the political situation down here in Canada. You should see it down here. It's quite a mess. And it's all so confusing, too, all this talk of separatism and everything. The whole country's like a huge search commercial. Why is that, Mork? Because they have two countries in one. Thank you, Mork. We will store this information. Thank you, Your Immenseness. Oh, and by the way, you know, they said a Frenchman would never be Prime Minister of Canada, but it's Trudeau. Anyway, until next time, this is Mork from Mork, signing off. Nanu, nanu.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special surprise guest with us tonight, and well, here he is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Jimmy Carrey, and I am the President of the United States of America. I'd just like to say one thing. A lot of people ask me if it bothers me running into my brother Billy all the time, him being a drinking man and all. But I'd just like to say that I don't generally run into Billy. I generally trip over him. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Palatable peanuts.
And ladies and gentlemen, now, the entertainer of the year, Steve Martin.
Wow! I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey, Steve, Martin, did the Entertainer of the Year award change you any? And I say, no. Oh, I'm still the macho, rambling guy I always was. Wow. Oh, and I'm still the swinging love god, too. But that's okay for me, 'cause I'm a wild and crazy guy.